Good morning. I'm just putting my boots on while I do the intro for this video. I am starting the vlog this weekend on Saturday, and it's probably about 9:30 a.m. right now. I'm just getting ready this morning to head out to the barn that I work out of, because this video I am riding my trainer's mare in a really cool opportunity working with the Spanish riding school, which, if you don't know what that is, they are various like certified dressage instructors from the Spanish riding school, and they teach classical dressage methods. And I'm really excited because the trainer who is coming out to do this clinic is like a very quiet rider, I've heard. I've never ridden with him before. I've never been asked to ride someone else's horse in a clinic like this, so I'm really excited. The mare is really incredible, and I'm gonna hopefully show you her today. Anyways, I'm going out to the barn to do a dressage ride on her the day before so that she's schooled and ready to go. I rode a lesson on her last week in preparation for the clinic, so I know exactly what my trainer wants to work on with her. She's a 5-year-old Oldenburg, and just learning kind of first level dressage stuff, incorporating lateral work, and we're really needing to work on keeping her frame up and making sure she doesn't tuck under and avoid the contact. My ride on her with the lesson, I think I have a good idea of what my trainer wants us to work on during the clinic, because it's about the horse. It's not really about me. I'm just kind of standing in while my trainer is out of town. So it's about putting more miles on her horse, producing and trying to get as much as we can from the clinic to benefit her horse. I will catch up with you either in the car or at the barn. We'll see. So as I'm riding her on Saturday, I really wanted to get a feel of where her energy was at, how she was feeling in her balance and in her body, and making sure that we were communicating effectively. Something I do want to mention also is she has a tendency of putting her head a bit low and kind of getting a bit heavy, and so when she throws her head up as she's losing her balance, we don't make any big deal about it. I kind of just will give her the rein and allow for her head to pop up, because it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a muscle weakness, and we want to encourage the head to come up more than what her tendency is to get it low. So what you're seeing here is trying to balance her canter, get her sitting down on her haunches, and trying pretty hard to keep her haunches from swinging out. If she loses her balance and kind of wants to throw her haunches out, So here I'm gonna change rein a couple of times, but I think I only show it once. I'm trying to keep her haunches underneath her and prevent her hips from swinging out again. And then we're gonna do a bit of canter work on the right. So I'll do a bigger circle, I'll spiral in, and then try to encourage her to pop up, use her hind end, and not get too low in the frame. And it doesn't look huge, but her canter feels massive. It's really difficult to sit and keep her up because she really wants to get bigger and bigger and bigger as she's cantering. So this is actually really good for her. I know her haunches are swinging out a bit, but I'm really happy with the pace. And her head comes up there, but again, I just kind of give her the rein. I don't want to get in her way when she does that. And then we go back down to a trot. I try to keep her head up a little bit, and then a little bit of extension here. Again, trying to find that balance where I'm using and communicating more with my seat and my body than the hand. And that's kind of the idea, is making sure she's putting the weight in the contact, but I'm not using my hand too much where she's getting heavy. And that was a pretty good transition. She kind of wants to, on the downward transition, pop her head up, but again, that's not really what we're worried about. And then here, after a long side of canter, she got pretty barreling forward, so I just do a quick 10-meter circle, bring her back, and then finish up this side with bringing her back again, because she's trying to go pretty big and flat, so I'm trying to bring her haunches underneath her, bring her pole up, and try to balance her with my body without getting too involved with the rein. And then a downward transition, she kind of brings her head low, so I put my hands up just for a second, encourage her pole to come up, and then I'm gonna go back down to a halt. But this is just a short clip of what we worked on kind of towards the end, but I didn't want to include the whole ride because it was a 30-minute ride, so that's just kind of what we were working on. I'm back in the car. The ride went really well. She was pretty strong in the canter, which I was expecting. So we had a lot to work on today and a lot to work on tomorrow. But overall, I was really happy with how it went. There's a fly in here. I was really happy with our ride, and things were really positive, and I think I have a really good idea of what we need to work on tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. I have to head out, and on the way home I'm picking up shavings and running a couple of errands, but I don't have too much more to vlog about today. I just have a bunch of stuff to do at home and then some prep with the truck and trailer for tomorrow. I'm gonna check in with Sid and make sure she's okay at home with all of the animals, because we do have little chickies and they're very high maintenance right now, so I feel bad that I've left her behind with everybody. Okay, chores, well, are in progress, but errands are done. So I am about to hook up the trailer, and after I hook up the trailer, I'm gonna finish stalls with Sid, and then I will be loading the trailer and getting it ready for tomorrow. Plus, cleaning a little bit of tack. I have to clean my boots and spurs, and I'm bringing my own stirrup leathers and irons, so I'm gonna get those cleaned up too. Getting everything that I can ready for tomorrow, so I don't have to do it all tomorrow, even though I usually do leave everything last minute. But who doesn't do that, am I right? morning. It's the morning of the clinic and everybody has been taken care of. It's a really gorgeous morning. It's like foggy and crisp and cool. So I'm gonna pick out my outfit and finish some of the stuff around the house and with the animals, and then I'm gonna head out and update you shortly.
On the way to the barn now, and she was such a good girl for getting all cleaned up and ready to get onto the trailer and everything. And she got onto the trailer like a little angel. She just walked right on. She's such a good girl.
We're excited, and it's finally warming up. It was freezing this morning.
Yeah, it was really cold this morning. All morning when we were getting ready and packing and everything, it was, I think, in the 40s, which isn't going to feel very cold in a few months, but felt very cold this morning.
So for the clinic, I just kind of compiled a few really important moments into the vlog. The whole lesson was about 45 minutes, but I thought it would be helpful for you guys if you could see just little snippets of it, and I explain what we're working on and kind of why we're working on them. So first off, in the lesson, we focused on suppleness, kind of going around in a lower frame and pushing her a little more forward. So the first thing he asks us to do to make sure that we are kind of on the same page and communicating effectively is just a simple 3-loop serpentine pattern. So we're changing the bend through the leg rather than the rein so that I can give more slack to the inside rein. And here she's looking really good. She's offering a really soft feel and she's moving fairly forward. Once we start to collect the frame up, I'm trying to focus on keeping the frame elevated a bit more like I talked about in our last ride. But something that he did comment on was, since she is so young, he's really not worried about the frame being too low because she just has to build the muscle and she has to be able to hold herself, which we shouldn't expect of her at this age. But it is something to keep in mind and continue working on. But he thought that her frame looked really strong for the point she is at with her training. And here I didn't comment on it, but we just did shoulders in to a half 10-meter circle and then a simple little leg yield back to the rail just to get her moving laterally off my leg. And then again another leg yield here, going the other direction. And then again, we're doing a leg yield to the left, and she's kind of leading with her shoulder, so he's asking me to half vault with the inside rein, make sure her shoulder isn't falling quicker than her haunches. And then again, asking her to bend the rib cage around the inside leg. And then we're incorporating some canter work. Her first canter transition took too many strides, so I just reset her and then asked a second time, and I was pretty happy with that. To get her not as flat, more on the hind end, he asked us to do a large circle, a 10-meter circle, and then a walk transition. And that kind of sets her up and back on her haunches. We walk here for a second, and then it's right back to trot. Here again, we're going to do a canter transition, trying to have her pole come up, balance her with my body more so than my hands. I'm trying to find a balance where I get her pole up and her balance, but then I give a few times with my hands to see if she'll offer the soft contact without dropping her pole too low. And then you can kind of see that here. She brings her pole up, I go soft with my hands, and then she settles into the frame more comfortably. Another canter on the left, a 10-meter circle once again, and down to a walk at C. She kind of sticks her nose out, so what I'm trying to do is give my hands and have soft elbows so she doesn't have anything to grab onto. And then we go from a walk to a canter, and I was really pleased with how she responded to the leg aid there. And she was right away actually pretty balanced and felt really good. We go on the long side. Again, she kind of pops her head up, but I just try to stay quiet in my hands and then bring her back again at the end of the arena here to do another downward, just to a trot. She's dropping her haunches in here just because I think she's a little bit fatigued. So I'm rising the trot, and then we're going to push her a little more forward on the long side, let her nose stretch out, and as she's stretching out with her nose, I'm trying to do a really soft rhythmical bump with the outside rein, bring her pull up a little bit here, and then again serpentine to get her moving off of my leg and bending through the body more with my leg than my hand. And again, it's okay for her to kind of stick her nose out there as she's changing her bend or doing a transition, because we kind of want her to take the contact, bring her pull up a bit more. Here we're lengthening the trot again, and I'm doing a little half halt to bring her up. So here we're going to do another transition from walk to canter. I'm trying to balance her through her body before I ask, and then she picked it up very easily. Pull was coming up, which was good. And another circle down here. So again, whenever I go from a canter to a walk, I really try to stay out of her way with my hands so she can kind of balance herself. Again, shoulders in to the left. We just hold it for half of the long side and then straighten out. Push her a little more forward, give my hands. And then from here we do a half 10 meter circle to half pass, which I've never done on her before, and she was actually very, very good. I was really happy with that. And then lengthening the stride a little bit on the long side, trying to give my hands, and then at the end he always asks for a stretchy trot, let her frame come down, nose really low, pointing out, which is kind of trying to tuck it in again here, but I'm really encouraging her nose to come out rather than just down and in. And then a walk, and that was the conclusion of the clinic.
Say what you said to me again.
The arena spinning.
It's not a lot of walking.
Not a lot of walking.
Guys did well though.
She was really good.
Good.
I'm really happy she did really good.
Yay!
Had really good things to say about her, and I don't think she's worked that hard in like ever.
This is a lot of canter, a lot of trot.
She was really tired at the end.
Yeah. You both look really tired.
Yeah, I'm like dripping sweat. I'm gonna walk her on the ground.
Okay.
It went really well, and I'm really happy with how everything went.
Mm-hmm.
I think the instructor had really good expectations for the age that the mare is at. She's only 5, and he didn't push her too much. He pushed me a lot. I almost passed out.
Yeah, you guys had like 2 walking breaks that were like 5 seconds each.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was like a 40-minute lesson, so you guys were definitely working hard. And it was nice because it wasn't super busy. The last clinic that we went to had a lot of auditors, a lot of people watching it, but it was nice because it was just us.
Yeah, we were the last ones to go, and then the instructor had to go off to the airport.
We'll go home and have some lunch.